Hey everybody, it's Alan here from Canadian Music in the 80s and 90s and more, the YouTube channel. Hope everybody watches it. You should if you're not. We're doing another episode of, I guess we're going to call it East Coast West Coast chat. This is
That's a good name to
episode
start.
this
That's a
is
good
up
name to start.
Yeah, this is my good buddy Jeff Shuttleworth from the West Coast, and I'm out here on
Hello.
the East Coast, and but we were good friends in the center of the country. That's why I've got the Massey Hall background.
Back in the 905. Yes.
Yes, Toronto. And that stage setup is actually for a Spirit of the West concert who are from Vancouver. So hope you see the connection there.
That background looks so good. Massey Hall. Yeah, great choice. I got to say, you really one up me on the backdrop and the production this week, Al. I'm still looking here in my bedroom.
Yeah,
And you're looking sharp and well lit, and you can see like my lamp. But I got a jersey up.
that's okay. That's a good start.
All right. Last time I was in Massey Hall, I saw my favorite comedian, Bill Burr.
Oh, that would have been great.
I saw him there. I still love listening to Bill Burr, and I felt quite fortunate to be there. One thing is he remarked on, and right off the bat, he was making fun of these old theaters and how what someone describes to him, and sometimes there's an idea, there's maybe you hear cracklings of an old ghost that's inside this theater because he's heard it so many times. He just rolls. His comment was like he just rolls his eyes, and he's like, "Really, come on, like am I?" Gonna... and he made fun of that. But he did say it was a great theater and that he could maybe even do a special there.
Oh, that would be cool, especially now that they've renovated. I haven't seen it since. They put a lot of, they did 3 years of renovations to it. Apparently, it's quite
Really
beautiful now. New seats. Apparently, they went up to the rafters and they had like a bunch of covers over a bunch of stained glass windows that were there from when it was originally built, and they brought those out and refurbished them, and now
nice,
the stained
cool.
glass windows are back, and I've heard
Everyone
it's
loves
quite
Matt.
lovely.
Cool. I mean, that you wouldn't have to do much work in there. Really, just you'd upgrade acoustics and maybe seats that are a bit worn out, but everything else, I mean, it's so great as is. Yeah. And I love the location right there across from the Eaton Center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but of course it's been there a lot longer than Eaton Center was, so I don't know if it was meant that way, but
Neil Young did a live album from there, right?
yes, he did back in
Yeah.
I think it was 1970. Don't quote me on that. If anyone wants to comment and confirm that, go right
Yeah. It
ahead.
was it was something in and around there. Yeah. For
But it
those who
was
may have
Gordon
just
Lightfoot's place. Gordon Lightfoot was so famous for playing Massey Hall all the time. Like
Mhm.
apparently he played it. He was the last show there before they closed down for renovations, and when they reopened, he was the first show back.
Really? Well, that's right.
Yeah. So I thought it was really cool that they managed to do that before he passed. So
Yeah. How long ago would that have been, the renovations? Do you know?
how long ago?
Because we lost Gordon. I would imagine we lost Gordon Lightfoot in the last few years. So those
2023.
2023,
Yeah.
you're the
Actually,
man.
this week is 2 weeks. Two
Oh wow.
years. 2 years since he
Okay.
passed. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just saw something about that today, actually.
I love Gordon Lightfoot still. I whenever I hear Sundown, it's just such a great song. I love it. And I'm so glad it's so appreciated internationally the way it is. And
Yeah,
as one of our great exports. Yeah.
definitely. Oh, he's got such a catalog of great music. I mean, not just Sundown, but
I love
the
that.
wreck of the
There's a
Evan
bit.
Fitzgerald alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a bit of honky tonk in that song Sundown that I just love. And yeah, so God
oh,
bless you, Gordon.
yeah, for sure. I think some of the things we had planned to talk about, we were going to talk about, I wanted to talk about the gas prices. How bad are they out where you
Holy
are?
crap. Well, I've been just complaining about that myself to my girlfriend. I was talking to her last night and joking, baby, I love you. I don't want to see it, but you might have to contribute for gas money.
That must have went over well.
Yeah, I kind of floated it and made sure I was kidding afterwards. But yeah, despite how much I love my drives in Vancouver, going through North Vancouver, going to see her in West Vancouver where she lives. It's such a gorgeous drive out. It's one of the nice ones. I never get sick of it. These damn gas prices. Today it was back down to 220. Yesterday it was scraping 230, which is
Really?
ridiculous. Yeah. And to quote someone, these are not driving around and listening to music gas prices.
No, I have just hit the $2 mark here this week.
$2? I love $2.
Yeah. Is that the trick? Is that what you think they're doing? They're going to start charging us this much for gas, and then when it goes back down to $1.60, we're going to think it's cheap.
Well, that's the trick. How much of is it legitimate caused by the Iranian war and the holdup there, and how much is the oil companies and Essos and Petro Canada and Shell just capitalizing? You know what I mean? Everyone marks up, and the gas price and gas is. I mean, you can't argue with it. People have to gas up, but the bastards, they run the prices like this. Yeah.
Or is it a trick by the vehicles and the government or the car companies because they've really put a lot of money into electric cars lately. Is this the way to get
Uh-huh.
us? Is this the way to get us to convert to electric cars because we can't afford gas anymore? Is this?
Bro, these are the tricks that they pull. Yes, yes, they are. Is it? I don't know, but it's oh my God, bro. I keep gassing up at like 8 to 12 liters at a time, hoping tomorrow it'll be cheaper and looking for that time when I can capitalize and gas up. Like the
Right.
last time I saw it at 189, I gassed it up almost completely. And that's the game we all manage.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember the little games the gas stations used to play in Ontario, but I remember if you were, because I used to work till like 11 o'clock at night at one of my jobs, and I remember getting gas every night on my way home because it was some reason it was cheaper than in the morning.
Yep, ding. Yeah, you're right.
But they can't do that here in PEI. Our gas prices are regulated, so they don't do that here. They don't do the cheaper at night,
Well,
more
that'd be
expensive in the
nice.
morning.
Sure as hell don't do that here because overnight the prices are cheaper, and that might be a secret. But that goes to just show you long they're dipping it to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But I tell
it's
you though, talking about driving in general, I'm glad as hell I bought my new GTI. I have a 2019 Volkswagen Golf GTI. God, I love it. It is such a car that hits a certain spot with performance, and it just I love the interior, and it's new and smooth. And oh, I'm glad I have a little performance vehicle. In with these might be the last glory days of gasoline.
right.
Like I personally like while there's gas cars and whatnot, I'm glad I have this now because in 10 years, we don't know where it's going to be, to tell you the
No.
truth. There's a
Yeah.
lot of this talk over the fence of saying they might reduce gas vehicles or even have them, there's a goal of having them eliminated. And that's done by a bunch of geeks who don't enjoy driving, like
Yeah.
me, and who just want to eliminate it like it's some sort of mathematical equation. I love driving, and let's keep the gas engines going because that's all the fun.
That's actually funny. You drive a 2019 Volkswagen. I drive a 2019 Jetta.
Really,
Yeah, so that's kind of
really.
funny.
Do you like
That's
it?
I love it.
It's my
I,
first Volkswagen. I love it.
yeah, I love the Jetta. I always have. My
Mm-hmm.
car before this was a Jetta.
Autobahn, smile.
Yeah, and my wife
Really?
drives a Golf wagon.
I never would have thought I would have liked Volkswagen as much as I did, but it was the GTI that made me want to get one. The reviews, the horsepower, like the Subaru, I can get right into it. The Subaru WRX seemed like more like a muscle front end, and they to keep it cheap, they reduce their investment on like
Right.
interior and that sort of quality and thing. Where the GTI is refined inside, Jeffy Jeff, I love that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just enough where it feels like it enters an elite European performance car that still remains an understated status. And oh, um,
Sure.
and the interior, I just love it. And I never thought I'd like Volkswagen as much as I did, but I do. And yeah, now I maybe certainly consider other ones. And here you like Volkswagen as well. Just wow, yeah,
Yeah, and my wife drives the Golf wagon,
really.
a 2017 Golf wagon. So
Well, that's a wife car, good car, but
yeah,
know,
no, it's a
it's
great
always
car.
it's always the wife that's driving like the Mercedes wagon. They like it, but it's practical.
Yeah.
I'm sure she enjoys it and good.
Let's have a really good segue right into the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Can
First
we?
round
Yeah.
draft pick.
What should Austin Matthews? What should we do? What? Oh my God, the material, bro. Yes, let's talk about it because everyone else is.
Yeah. But I guess the real question is not I don't know what they're going to do with the team exactly, but um, is it really going to help them?
Yes. Oh my God, what material?
And what
Well,
do you do
Monday.
with it? Do you trade it? Do you actually use the pick? There's all kinds of
Yeah.
things, and you've got new
Uh-huh.
management now. So
First of all, to anyone who's sick and tired of this happening, this explosion of material and people talking about this with the Leafs, too bad. We're going to talk about it some more. Because me and Al are both Leaf fans, I think, right? No, actually,
um I'm a hockey
whatever.
fan. I don't cheer
Yeah.
for a team. I just love hockey.
All right. Well, I'm a Leafs fan. They're like family, but oh my God, the Toronto Maple Leafs won the number one draft pick in the NHL draft this summer, and there's the phenom Gavin McKenna
Yep.
from Whitehorse, Northwest Territories. Sorry, Yukon.
Yep.
Excuse me, who's the number one slotted, projected to be the number one pick. And this opens up a world of opportunities and material for people to talk about.
Yep.
This is good. This affects Matthews if he's going to stay. This opens up the window to just completely rebuild and use Matthews as Nylanders as pieces to build with. I
Yep.
mean, this train could go either way, and it's unbelievable. And yeah, the media's talking about it like a ton because there's a ton of material about this. But yeah,
And also, you guys probably talk about it there because Vancouver did not get the first round.
yeah, they lost bad, and you should not laugh.
I'm not laughing.
That is not nice. There's enough of that going on. Yeah, they did not win, and they went to the arena with jerseys on and got the popcorn and watched a
Draft party.
lottery draft happen, and they did not win, and they lost to Toronto.
Yeah.
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 And then the second pick came, and San Jose, because they need the help, they don't have enough young talent. They won the second pick. We probably secured the first or second projected pick, Grenberg from Sweden, and they're going to get third. So, yeah, they're pissed off. They're upset.
I've heard Calgary fans aren't too happy about it either. So
I've enjoyed watching all the videos. Yeah,
yeah.
online. I saw on my Instagram. I posted a pic of this Calgary fan in his jersey. His live reaction to the draft and him hitting the pillows and scolding Toronto as they all have. And yeah, so
We'll have to do a
I,
post-draft chat too.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of the draft, what do the Leafs do? I think you get them. You pick McKenna. It's
Yeah.
hard to. You could pontificate. Do you trade it? You could build. You do look at the
Yeah.
potential what you could do with this star you now have in your hands,
Yeah.
the number one draft pick. But I think you draft McKenna, sir. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I would have to say that yeah, he's a pretty highly touted prospect, so I would think you should. But I mean, you don't know what kind of phone calls they're going to be getting at the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I.
it would have to be something pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Certainly that's what makes you think about it. Yeah. But wow. The kid looks all right. He 18 years old from White House. From Whitehorse. Plays for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Had a good
yep,
campaign with the Canada World Juniors.
yep.
Do you know anything about his background or his playing days with Medicine Hat?
I haven't checked into that. No, I don't see a lot of West Coast stuff. Like, I mean, other than reading scores. Um, but the other thing I was just thinking with the new management, this is really going to be the first big test for a new GM and Matt Sundin in there, isn't it? That I was thinking.
Yeah, really hard choice here. This sounds like more like really good building blocks. You have the number one pick, which is a hell of a turnaround from the day they had Monday, which I was not even in favor of either. The president, this guy should never, Pelly should never go near a microphone again. It was another disastrous press conference that only got crapped on, and Leaf fans were just like this. We all saw Simmons, the Toronto Star reporter, scold them in the press conference,
Yeah.
and yeah, Wayne Simmons, I think it was. Excuse me if I'm not getting the name right, but we all saw that. We all felt the same way, though. This guy's background. Did Pelly just pick from the available field and call it good? Oh yeah, but then Tuesday happened, and it's all better.
Yeah.
So, or at least seemingly, we got this. Yeah. So, and that's just what's going on with the Toronto Leafs right
Um,
now. Yeah.
if you want to keep hockey related, we can go back to Ontario and I don't know if you heard about the Barrie Colts. They won they came back from down 3-1 in their conference finals
Really?
and won game 7 against the Brantford Bulldogs. But they got fined for their coach at the press conference at the end because he kept answering every question with the same answer. He kept saying, "Who cares? Work harder."
Yeah. Which is,
I
yep.
don't know if you saw that, but yeah,
I saw that, and well, the press maybe wanted more of a sound bite. Well, they certainly got one. That's a
yeah,
classic saying with coaches and a bedrock principle. No one cares. Work harder. I've heard Derek Jeter say this. I've heard it said in baseball.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw that, and they good for them. They won.
yeah.
Where,
And
where
their coach Dylan Smoskowitz, former Mississauga Steelhead, actually.
really?
Yeah,
Where are things with the CHL playoffs right now? Towards the approaching the Memorial Cup.
we've got Kitchener and Barrie in the finals. Kitchener won game 1.
That's the OHL finals.
OHL finals. The Q, where I am, Moncton is in the finals versus Chicoutimi. I don't think
Really?
that has not started yet. I don't know what's going on in the West. Are you on top of that?
No, excuse me, no. Perhaps I could be. Um,
That's your job.
that's my job. Okay, I'll have
Yeah,
that collected. I'll have that collected for next week.
you're the West
Uh,
Coast. You're our West Coast guy, so
yeah,
that's your job.
but I like. Yeah, okay, here we go. I like the Q so much more. Where is PEi's team? Where you are? Do they have a?
Charlottetown.
Is that a Q team?
Yes, it's a Quebec
Fan,
Junior League team. Yeah,
fantastic, cool. Okay, and
yeah,
what is their name?
the Charlottetown Islanders.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Let
So
let, let me ask you this.
is now the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League, by the way, in case you didn't know. They changed the name of it.
When the Charlottetown Islanders travel, do they fly or do they take the bridge?
I think it it depends.
Yeah.
Because the one team moved to Newfoundland last year, so
Okay.
every team pretty much has to fly there.
Is there a toll on that bridge?
Which one? The Yes, $20 to
Yes.
leave Prince Edward Island. Yeah,
Really?
used to be
What?
50.
Oh, wow. Okay. At least now it's hopefully that's just it's grow that's necessary to collect the building funds. That initial
Yes,
$50.
yeah.
When's the last time you crossed the bridge?
About 3 weeks ago, I went to pick some friends up at the airport in Moncton.
Cool. Wow. Man, Vancouver needs a new bridge. Just when we're talking about bridges, Vancouver traffic can get so bad. If one of the bridges, the North Van, is choked up, there's only two, Lionsgate and the Iron Workers. It's all messed up. And I remember commenting on Facebook in the last 2 weeks that they need a third bridge. And it's going to be at Renfrew Street. It's going to be close together with the other one, but God, they need it. Vancouver traffic, bro, it's just such a there's so many things that contribute to making it doesn't flow. It's not like a north south east west grid system, and
Right.
it just can be so brutal because we only got two bridges to North Van. I know because I drive to North Van all the time. See the girlfriend, honey.
Yeah.
But oh man, do we could use another bridge. So talking about bridges, yeah.
You have to. I got some homework for you then.
Okay, Ottawa's
Um,
got bridges. Toronto has no bridges.
no, train bridges maybe. There's a nice one going
Yeah,
through Port Credit, I suppose, but
and the train going over the Don River doesn't count.
no. I
Yeah.
got some homework for you since you started talking
What?
about Vancouver bridges.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Stompin' Tom song? The bridge came tumbling down.
No.
I think you should listen
But
to it. It's
yeah,
a
okay.
history about the building of the Burrard Street Bridge.
Really? Okay. I think it was one of the first.
it was about how 19 men died building that bridge.
Really? Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, he wrote a song about it. So if you get a chance to look that up and listen to it, I really think you should. Maybe you'll appreciate next time you drive over the bridge what happened.
I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm not. There is the old sort of one original, and I think that is the Burrard Street Bridge. You can tell just by
Yeah,
looking at it that it's the old one. Perhaps, yeah. Thank you. I'll look into that. There's more
yeah,
bridges on that. There's more bridges crossing the False Creek Peninsula, which is a crappy name for an inlet. False Creek.
yeah,
What a BC name to name something. Just no imagination. Anyway, False Creek. Jesus. But there's three bridges that go over that, connecting Richmond and not South Vancouver, if you want to call that, and Richmond, which is where
right.
most of the population come from. But yeah, there's the Canby, there's the Burrard, another one. Anyway,
Yeah, well, I think you should look into that song. I think you'd
yeah.
really get a kick out of it and realize, Tom didn't write just goofy songs. He wrote some pretty historic events in some of his
uh,
music.
I don't think he just wrote goofy songs at all, but yeah, okay, I'll look into that. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Next, I saw the Michael Jackson biopic. Have you seen it yet?
No. But
Are you
I'm
planning on it?
interested. You went. I wasn't, but you went to see it, and I am curious. And I heard it stops at 1988. What did you think? Or yeah.
I've heard a lot of bad reviews about it, but if you're just looking for pure entertainment, it's a fantastic movie to watch.
Well,
Especially
just
for
look at.
someone like us who were alive when all that happened. Like we saw the thriller boom in the 80s. Like how old were you? I was 13,
I was a kid.
13, 14.
Michael Jackson was one of the most sensational things that
Yeah,
happened. The moonwalk was magic, and I it's Michael, and there's so many things like, and it's so heavy because there's the
yeah,
things that the accusations, which is why I noted it stopped at 1988. He's so big. So to make a movie, I'm at least glad they did only on the first half. It's
yeah.
hard to do a movie, so I'm skeptical already if they could nail it and do it.
Yeah.
But let's ask you, how did they do?
I think they did great. I mean, first of all, it was really something they had his nephew play him, which
Really?
was, yeah, his nephew, Jermaine Jackson's son, played
Yeah,
Michael in the movie,
yeah.
which I thought was really great. And they really nailed the background and the scenery of what was going on at the time, like making of the Thriller video and the Beat It video. And you know, the one thing that stood out to me, do you remember how you could buy those Michael Jackson jackets at pretty much any mall? You remember you could buy the Beat It
Yeah,
jacket or the Thriller jacket, and everybody
and
was running out and buying them, even if they weren't real
the
leather
pins.
jackets. The
Yeah, yeah,
pins, yeah, the pins. I think he
yeah.
was on every lunchbox and
Bro.
t-shirts. Like, I mean, he
Yeah.
was just everywhere. And of course, my favorite thing is that Eddie Van Halen played the guitar solo on Beat It. So I was a big Van Halen fan back then too. So
That's that's a whole that's an incredible little story about Van Halen wrote it. He did a great interview with the guy from BBC. He was one of the judges. I just forget his name right now. Anyway, he did an interview with him. He was talking about the night he did the Beat It track.
yeah,
And the producer called him in. I'm forgetting all the
Quincy
names right now.
Jones.
Quincy Jones. Yeah, I'm forgetting
Yeah,
all the names. Just called him in and they did it. He was not paid anything for it. He just kind
yeah,
of he did Quincy the favor, not Michael. That was
yeah,
the relationship. I mean, he did it and they laid it. And he changed some of the arrangements and they laid it down. And in the interview about it later, he's funny line. He says, "In Van Halen, we never really did side projects, but they're all out of town. And besides, if I did it, who's going to notice if I did a track on this Black Kids record? You know
yeah.
what
I
I
remember that. Yeah,
mean?"
yeah.
So good. And he did it, and wow, and God, he nailed it.
And it was
Yeah,
on the
man.
album that prevented their album 1984 from becoming a number one album
Really?
because
I've
Thriller
got to
was
get.
sitting there at number one, and that would have been number one if if
Wow.
Michael wasn't there. That album would have
What
hit number one. It stuck at number two right behind him for a
I
long
what I
time.
what? Wow. I wonder if he got his knuckles wrapped for that one.
But then Michael was also known, if you think about it, for using hot guitar players. Like he used Eddie in 1983 on Bad. I think he used Steve Stevens, Billy Idol's guitar player. And then,
Really?
of course, on Black and White, he used Slash from Guns N' Roses. So he was really into the using the hot guitar players of the time.
Wait, what track? Black and
Black and
White?
White. Yeah, I think that was Slash
Was that
playing guitar.
Slash?
Yeah, that was
He did
Slash.
some movement with Slash. Well, it's Michael Jackson. If he
Yeah,
wants certain with some sound, he'd call him and
yeah.
probably still would do it. And yeah, good for him. I mean, we gather the good material. Yeah, I'm very Michael Jackson. I'm very interested to see the pre his Michael his Jackson 5 days and what they
Yeah.
did with that and the growing up and everything. And we all know the idea that what happened to Michael. He never really had a childhood, and that sort of caused a lot of the where his life went after that. And it's a hell of a story, and it's sad, but
It painted a real
it's
negative view of his father. Apparently, Joseph was not, he was not portrayed as the greatest father on the planet
well, he wasn't.
in
He was
this movie.
abusive to his kids, and
Yeah.
he factoried the kids out to do this. And oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That
not a
was
good story, but
sad. That was sad to me. But
yeah, it was totally. But despite all that, Michael Jackson went on to be Michael Jackson. That's great, and I think the world's better for it. And now we'll say it. I'll talk about it. in my opinion, all that stuff that happened afterwards, the kids, the sleepovers, all those horrible accusations, Alan, in my opinion, I don't think he did any of it.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, but then I'm also of the thing, how do we know? We don't. We don't
Yeah,
know what
and
happened. We
yeah,
weren't there.
yeah, I
You know,
yeah,
there's
but
lots of people out there that will bribe people for money.
yeah,
They knew he was rich. They knew he had money coming out of his ears. You
hmm
know, if they could figure out a way to get, I mean, it's he's not the first person they've done that to.
hmm
You know,
I think the move they tried to do a movie about it. I think Michael Jackson was a gift to the world and an immense talent, and I don't think he did that. And I'm glad that wow, Michael, Michael. It's just yeah,
yeah.
and
The ending
that's what I think.
scene is a concert.
No spoilers, no spoilers.
No, the ending scene is a concert from the Bad tour. But I was also wondering which one of the backup singers was Sheryl Crow, because Sheryl
Oh,
Crow
really?
sang background with Michael Jackson on tour back then, I believe.
Very interesting. Yeah. Wow.
So
Yeah, Sheryl
another,
Crow's.
yeah, another
Yeah,
musician that played with Michael back in the day.
Sheryl Crow. She was good, but I mean, anyway, she
Oh,
whatever. I
I
shouldn't have
liked
hit
her.
that
I like
note.
her. I
Yeah.
think she's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I've heard they're gonna make a sequel. They're gonna make another one.
I don't want
Um,
to see it because that's the second half. I don't want to see what they did with it because they can't make any definitive strikes on exactly what
right,
happened. It's all just going
right.
to be where we are. They said this said. I don't know if you could do it. There's the documentary. I don't think they should do the project because no one. I don't even know if
Yeah.
anyone wants to rehash it. There's been enough material on it. Yeah. So
Speaking of documentaries, it's off topic, but off what we were going to talk about. There's a Martin Short documentary coming out next week or the week after.
I feel so bad for that guy.
Is that
That was
something
last
you're going to
year.
watch or?
How his son committed suicide. That's so sad. I just feel so bad for that guy. That's sad. I mean, sure, it'd be a great thing to watch.
Yeah, he lost.
Um,
Yeah, it was his daughter, I think, but he lost his daughter, and then Catherine O'Hara passed away, one of his good
really,
friends. You know, so yeah,
okay.
he's had a rough go the past little while. But I'd really like to see this documentary. It
What,
looks
what,
pretty
what,
good.
how is it coming out?
It's
Like where
coming
on
out.
what on what
Oh, Netflix, I believe.
Netflix is doing it, eh?
Netflix. But I mean, this stuff hits close to home because he's a Canadian entertainer, grew up in
Yeah.
Hamilton, which wasn't far from where we were. I spent a lot of time in Hamilton growing up myself, so
Okay.
it'll be interesting to see that. Have you watched the John Candy documentary by any chance?
Whenever we say Hamilton growing up in that period in the 70s and 80s, oh God, I remember the smells, the image of Hamilton, the steel belt, the
Yeah,
big smoke and going there. We used to go there on the weekends, not to Hamilton, but to the waterfront there that was pretty nice. And it was just the smell, but going through that area, the smells and all that, and Hamilton and what it was. Side note to think about Port Credit in that area as well, and the sulfur. What was that? A sulfur plant that was there?
oh, St. Lawrence, the starch
Yeah,
company.
the starch company and that
Yeah,
smell.
yeah.
It's
Every
still,
time you drove by there, yeah, it's embedded in your brain, isn't it?
isn't it amazing the brain can still smell memories?
Yeah. Well, Hamilton always reminds me of Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy, but
Why?
in 1988, Def Leppard did the Hysteria tour, and they were kind of exceptional because they were doing this in the round show in the
Oh,
arenas where the stage was in the middle of the rink,
okay.
and they were coming to Toronto, and they couldn't do it there because they were playing Exhibition Stadium. They couldn't do the in the round at
Oh,
Exhibition
okay.
Stadium, but they came back later that fall to play Hamilton, who
Why
did
couldn't they
have
play?
an who did have the proper arena to do that. So that's why we were like, yes, we got to go see this.
Was there a
So,
problem booking? Was there a problem booking at Maple Leaf Gardens because of damn Harold Ballard? Was that
oh,
a problem? They had to
probably.
play Hamilton. Oh my
Maybe, or
God.
maybe
Anyway.
I don't think the ceiling was built enough for the lighting thing. That's what
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was. But
Okay.
Hamilton had a brand new, well, it was a brand new rink back then, pretty much.
Cool.
So yeah, that's why we were like, oh, we're going now. We got to go see them now. I wanted to
I,
see the in the round show. That's why I was so pumped
bro,
up about it.
I love the Hysteria album from Def Leppard. I love it. It's just such a good album. I love it. Yeah. And
Was it their,
I
yeah,
love their album artwork from the 80s as well. Yeah.
just yeah, that album was like, I mean, it came out in '87, didn't really pick up steam until '88, really. when they released "Pour Some Sugar on Me" as a single, and it just
Hmm.
blew up that summer. And
Yeah,
that
same
was
thing
like that
happened.
was a hard rock summer.
Hmm.
'88, three
Appetite.
Appetite, Hysteria, Van Halen, "Oh You Ain't One Too." I
Tell you what,
mean,
yeah. Before we get too far away for it, little thing. Side note: speaking of Hamilton and Harold Ballard, I have a theory, and I personally want to solve it as to why the 1987 Canada Cup was played in Cops Coliseum and not Toronto. I think that when they're selling the Canada Cup as an entity outside of the NHL, there was a problem working with Harold Ballard and booking at the Gardens and his NHL ties. I certainly as hell tried to would think they tried to get that match in Toronto, not Hamilton. I'm sorry to say it, Hamilton.
yeah.
But what happened there? And I think it was a failure with Harold Ballard, and they opted for Cops Coliseum in Hamilton to still have it in the GTA. That's a theory I have, but I want to explore that. But it ended up being Hamilton's greatest ever sporting event hosted there. Yeah, that Canada Cup Series in 1987 with Lemieux to Gretzky
Well,
to
it was a
Lemieux
newer arena at the
goal.
time too, right? So
Oh, was it?
it was yeah, it was only built 19 only opened in 1985 or 87 or something like that. So yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
was a brand spanking new shiny arena. So maybe that had a
May
lot to do with it too.
Maybe they just won the bid. Okay, well, but I'd like to look into that as to why that happened.
I mean it's been renovated since, and apparently it's quite beautiful now, but up until then it was pretty grimy looking arena. It was getting pretty
Bro,
old there up until about 6 years ago. And
yeah, I remember watching WWF wrestling and hearing Gorilla Monsoon or the other guy who do the local announcements for tours, and they say so and so going event in the Cops Coliseum in Hamilton, and
yeah.
yeah,
Do you remember actually something popped up on my scope yesterday? Do you remember that big wrestling event they had at Exhibition Stadium?
that was the first WrestleMania. Yes,
No, it wasn't WrestleMania.
but it was a pre-WrestleMania experiment by
Yeah,
WWF, and the next year they had WrestleMania on the success of this event.
yeah, when the dome opened, they had it there.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no. It was an exhibition stadium, the big event with Paul Orndorff as the
yes,
main
yeah.
thing. Yeah, that wasn't Skydome, bro. That was exhibition stadium.
No, but I mean they did have WrestleMania at the dome eventually. And like
Eventually, yeah.
yeah, when the dome was built,
1999, I think it was.
they were having trying to have every event they could there.
Yeah,
And it
because
was a brand
Toronto's
brand spanking new stadium at the time.
yeah, because
It
Toronto's a
was
huge stop for these sort of tours. WWF loved Toronto.
Yeah, they did a lot of shows at Maple Leaf Gardens back in
Mm-hmm.
the day. I remember Sundays. I mean, I think every Sunday they had some kind of WWF event at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Okay,
So it was, go on. What were you saying?
where are we on time?
I have no idea.
No idea.
I don't keep track of time. If the
All right.
conversation's good, who cares? Um, One thing I did want to talk about before we wrap this up.
Good.
You've been living in the West Coast for 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years now, if you can believe it. Yes.
I'm going on 6 years out here.
Really?
Um, Something I wanted to ask, good or bad, how has it been adapting to life out there?
I'm still
Has it been difficult?
I'm still adapting. I'm still watching the people's activity like it's a new thing to me. I still feel like an outsider that this um, is not where I'm from, and I'm still looking at the culture as so something I still either have not adapt to, but I feel I'm more observing it now. Vancouver's a tough. Well, it's a lot more friendlier than I thought it would be, but I'm still
Right.
adapting to working here, to living here. Excuse me. Um, sort of a negative part of me would say that it's full of a bunch of narcissists and self-satisfying and um, 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 people feel with people with entitled attitudes. There's such a me first, and the disease of me is rampant in Vancouver, if you ask me. Holy crap! Right there, on traffic to people to guest service sucks at the stores. It
Yeah.
can be good in places, and it's very nice in places when the person. Some people like get it right, but other times people are just so wrapped up in their own boredom. I don't want to be here, and you're just going to get the service you get today from me. And oh Jesus, how is it in PEI?
Well, I think I don't. I'll get to another question after I tell you my
But they're not
experience
all
here.
like that. But that's some of your
I had a
off the
bit of
cuff
an
feedback.
advantage. I had a bit of an advantage moving here because my dad's from here. I've
Okay.
been coming here since I was 8 years old. So it wasn't too hard of an adjustment, really, because I knew the island fairly well. Because when I came here, I wasn't a tourist back then. I was,
Yep.
hanging out with family who lived here. So I saw what life was like here. It wasn't a total, but and most people around here get why I'm here because they have roots here. But I've heard rumblings that if you're just picking up and moving to PEI out of whatever, they get skeptical here and they don't like a lot of change here. So sometimes it's great when you're a tourist, but it's a little bit more of a grind if you're moving here and living here to the people
Really.
who are born and bred here. Now, my question to you, did you have some roots out in the West Coast? Like I know you did before you moved there. Your dad was out there, but growing up, did you have any roots out there? Out, yeah,
Yes, yes. My stepmom Wendy,
yeah,
she had her face. She was born and raised out here, and she had moved to Toronto to have her life there at the Toronto Star. But my dad and stepmom, her Wendy, retired here in moved to the West Coast in 1999. So visiting dad after that, I
yeah.
would be a trip to the West Coast and a flight from Toronto where I live to visit. So it broke its way in then. We had several road trips to the West Coast
Mhm.
when I was younger, and God, they were good. So
Yeah,
I had some exposure to Vancouver. It was always pretty and so nice. Um, uh, One of my other memories of Vancouver, the first time I came out was traffic and sitting in Stanley Park in traffic in 1986 for Expo 86 and how damn awful it was. But a great trip after besides that.
yeah. So so it wasn't totally a strange place for you to go to, was it?
No, it wasn't. After my dad moved here with my stepmom in 1999, the summer trips coming out here did slowly break us in. But that mind you, that was to Vancouver Island, which is kind of an anomaly, and Qualicum Beach,
Yeah.
which is a gorgeous little town. And I loved it. It'd be like my little summer vacation. Qualicum Beach is it West Coast? Yes, it is, but every third house is from somewhere else and who's moved there. It's very
Yeah.
much retirement area and a lot of migration there. So they're not all locals. Vancouver was my first real saturation in absolute living here when I moved here about 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
So yeah, parts of Vancouver are great. Parts of Vancouver can be a bit of a dump. A lot of people are quite nice, and some things work quite well. Um, it has its things, but it's a heck of a place to move to and adjust to. Um, and
Yeah.
I still feel like it can make you feel like an outsider for a long time.
I still do sometimes here, to be honest with you. The
Yeah.
people are nice. I've made friends and I've got lots of family here, but to some, I'm still just going to be that guy from away, as they say here.
Okay.
That's the expression. I don't know what expression they use out there for someone who's not born and bred out there. But I imagine you've got a lot of people from away out in Vancouver. Is that
Oh
more?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, it is kind of sexy. It is gorgeous. Like I said before, I love my
yeah,
drives in Vancouver.
yeah,
The weather is nice. The geographical scenery is so great.
yeah.
Vancouver City can is a different is an element within that. But yeah, I
Hmm.
like being on the West Coast. Other things, my brother's here. There's things that are keeping me here. My brother, my nephew are out here on Vancouver Island. I love
Right.
going out there. So a lot of good. I got my girlfriend now, and of course I have my two jobs and whatnot. So it's good. But geographical Vancouver, it's nice all the time. Yeah, it that part is nice. How is geographical PEI? Do you ever go to the beach
Oh,
down
yeah,
there?
we have a piece of land 2 hours from Charlottetown where my dad grew up, and it's right near the beach, and we spend a lot of time there walking the beach. And
Yeah, okay.
beaches here are absolutely fantastic. Geographically, it's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see, like especially in the water, by the water.
Let's talk about pollution. Okay, in Vancouver, in English Bay, the main strip park that's there, you can't swim in the water because it's all for one, not just the people and pollution, but it's an inlet. It's the end of an inlet where it's a bit
Right,
of a still water and the water doesn't circulate. And contributing to that, you've got the people and the city, the runoff of the city of Vancouver, making that
right.
spot you can't swim there. You might get a urinary tract infection. If you did, you can't. Can you swim in the water in Charlottetown on the waterfront there?
Um, I've never done it. You can
Yeah.
up well, like up west where our land is.
All right.
It's beautiful to swim up there, and there are some other spots. Like there's just beautiful beaches all over the place.
Okay.
What about seafood? Is seafood a big thing in Vancouver?
Let's talk about it. What's better, lobster or crab? I like lobster.
I like lobster too. Well, I also have family that are in lobster fishing, so
Very
it's
cool.
nice to have a connection to it. There's a lot of great seafood restaurants here. I don't eat as much of it as I thought I would.
That
I, you know,
that's right. Yeah. A funny thing. Okay, so the West Coast is the salmon capital of the world.
yeah,
Campbell River in that area on Vancouver Island, and it's part of the industry here. It's the salmon trade is
yeah,
it goes up. It is what it is for thousands of years, even before the white man moved here. It's been part of the life of the West Coast and one of the main sources of food. But I'm not a salmon guy, Al. I don't really like salmon. Which is ironic. Crab, I do like. I got to eat more crab. My brother
yeah,
fishes crab, and Nanaimo here on the West Coast, you're allowed 2 crab a day to fish, and they go crabbing all the time. His net
yeah.
is his crab trap is a mainstay in his car. He takes his children crabbing, and on the dock, you'll see the other people having an iced tea and with their crab traps in the water. And you know the difference between a male and a female. You can keep the males, not the females. I think that's the way it goes. I'm not sure, excuse me, but it's those who know the law, it's there. Um, but yeah, I got to eat more seafood. I went for there's great seafood on the West Coast, of course. It's Vancouver. My girlfriend makes a great whitefish. I got to admit, I enjoy that a
Do you
little
have
bit more.
mussels
So
and oysters
thanks,
out there?
Jody. Oh yeah, big thing. Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I don't really buy those a lot either. You know what I mean? They're expensive as hell. It's
yeah.
ironic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like the mussels and oysters myself. Like I said, but it's not something I eat all the time. Like everyone that comes to visit is just like, oh, seafood, you must eat it all the time. Not
Yeah.
really, not as
More,
much as
more
I'd like to,
yeah.
but
Um, more about I love swimming in the salt water. It's so great. I love it. I've since moving to the West Coast, my friend, by being a Toronto kid, moving to the West Coast and on Vancouver Island, a lot more rural. I fell back in love with river swimming, buddy, and
yeah,
swimming in the beaches in the salt water. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's I love it. I love swimming in natural water again. Oh, I'm happy as heck.
it's great to see the similarities between our coasts, like when it comes to that kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's definitely kind of fun. Like I mean, we're so far away, but we're so similar in many ways.
When
Um,
I left Toronto, I came to the West Coast and Vancouver Island, particularly a small little town. I got reintroduced to the natural beauty of things. I took a lot more walks, went out. I didn't
right.
really get into hiking, but I took longer walks. But swimming in the water and just enjoying that type of thing, yes. And that's something of the West Coast that definitely I love when I got here. Yeah. In fact, I'm mapping out my summer. Where am I going to go swimming this summer? I'm still to find my good river spot in Vancouver. So, in
Right.
watching this, if any of our viewers have any suggestions for the good spots to go river swimming in the Vancouver area,
Yeah.
even if I have to drive a bit, please let me know. Yeah,
Great. This is something I really wanted to touch on when we were going to do this episode, but I think we could keep it going longer in other episodes
yeah,
because there's lots
yeah,
of
yeah,
things we can talk about, tons of stuff.
yeah.
Geoff, this has been another great chat. I hope we get some more traction on this. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Are you sure you're not in Hollywood? Sorry,
Yes,
had to say
especially
it.
good. Al, thank you for this. Next week, next time let's come back. Let's do it again.
Yep,
Thank you for doing this. It's been a kick. I was looking forward to doing this. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. Speaking about sunshine, I'm going to go in the yard and have a nice cool drink.
sounds good.
All right.
Good to see you again. Take care, my friend.
All right. Some closing notes. Go Habs, last Canadian team remaining.
Yep.
Um, I might be cheering for Barry. We'll see. Looking to
Okay.
see who else is in the who's going to be in the cup. In the next month, we got World Cup of Soccer coming down the pipe.
Yep.
NHL playoffs. The NHL draft now, of course. Ah, but yeah, you have a great evening out there with your wife, and good to see you again. You next week, I'm coming back with a better backdrop and not effing bedroom.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now that you know you can turn your phone to the side and get a full picture.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
Thanks, Geoff. Take care,
Good
sir.
afternoon. Bye, buddy.
Bye.